welcome to my channel. I'm super excited today because I am doing a face-to-face video, which I don't normally do. So yeah, I hope this little setup's okay and the video quality's okay. I'm sorry about the glare in my glasses. I'll try to position myself in a way where it's not annoying, but today I am doing a questions and answers video. So I asked about 3 times on Instagram over the past couple weeks if you guys had any questions about my life or crafty things or whatever, just to get to know me a little bit better. I just finished my Spring Blitz 30 days of videos, and that was so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. I still will be posting every 3 days, so you still get lots of content, but just won't be daily now because that's a lot of work. But every spring I like to do that. So if I look down a lot, it's just because I have my questions here that I'm going to answer, and yeah. Also, there's a giveaway. I am extending the giveaway just because this video is going up late, and I just wanted to make sure enough people knew about the giveaway because I didn't quite talk about it a lot. So this is kind of my chance to reiterate that, and I am going to repost the picture on Instagram because basically what the giveaway is just to comment on the picture when you started following me, whether it's today or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Which, speaking of 3 years ago, I am celebrating 3 years on YouTube, so that's why I do my Spring Blitz every year and this video and everything. So yeah, I definitely make it a yearly thing, and yeah, so I think that's all I had to say. Yeah, you just have to comment on that specific picture for the giveaway, and I'm giving away 5 different prizes of flat mail to people. So it's open internationally. Yeah, so that's what the prize is, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, so like I said, I'm extending it just because I didn't really talk about it too much, and so I feel kind of bad. But it's just a way to thank my subscribers and my followers. You obviously have to be like subscribed to me and following me and stuff, of course, but it's just a way to say thank you to you. So let me get to the questions. They're no particular order. I hope I will be able to say the names right. Yeah, so anyway, let's just get right to it. So the first question I have here, and like I said, they're both crafty and personal, from the_pretty_pepper, says, how do you gain inspiration? And the answer for this would absolutely be, I watch YouTube videos. I know everyone gains inspiration in different ways, but for me, it's absolutely watching YouTube videos. There are definitely some YouTubers that I go to specifically just to like gain some inspiration or just to watch something interesting. I love watching YouTube videos. That's kind of the reason like why I decided to do it myself, is just because I get inspiration from it, so I would hope that I could inspire others as well. So yeah, so definitely YouTube videos. I'll search like whether it's scrapbooking or happy mail. Sometimes I'll even watch like videos from like years ago that are much older but still like relevant and inspiring. So that would be definitely the way. Sometimes I take a break from scrapbooking or just crafting in general for like, I don't know, I scrapbook like every couple of days, so maybe I'll take like a week off from crafting just to give myself a little bit of a break so that I can come back like refreshed and renewed and stuff. And I still will watch videos to get myself inspired, but I'll just like step away from the table for a moment, you know what I mean? And there was a third way that I wanted to say. What was it? So videos, taking a break. Oh yeah, switching up the craft. So for me, I do happy mail and scrapbooking and Bible journaling. So if I find I'm like getting in a rut, then I will try a different craft. Even in like happy mail, if I want to do a tag flip and I'm like, I need to switch it up and try flipbook, then I'll do that too. So that's another way that I keep myself fresh, is to just switch it up. just switch it up. Or even in scrapbooking, try using a sketch, or try using just a different like format to get inspired, like a sketch or scrap lift or whatever. Yeah, so that's what I do. And then for happy mail, it'll be like I'll switch up the type of mail that I make. Okay, so next question. Both My Busy Life 1 and Cherapov, I don't know if I said that right, asked what I do for a living. And so I work with people with intellectual disabilities. I work in a group home currently. I do overnight shifts, sleep shifts. So basically what my job will look like on a normal shift, overnight shift, is I'll go in the evening. Usually my shifts are like 9 to 9-ish, give or take. So I'll go in the evening, and there's 4 people living in the home that I am working at currently. And usually they'll all be asleep. 1 or 2 might be awake watching TV or on the computer or whatever. And I just clean the house or prep for the next day. And I get to sleep from, I believe it's from 11 till 6. And so I get a couple hours of sleep in. And then in the morning, I assist them in getting ready for the day, whether they're going to a day program or it's the weekend. And yeah, so just help them get ready and do their thing, and just like anyone else's morning routine. And I used to work all the time in a day program, and so that was teaching like kitchen skill classes and craft classes and music classes to people with intellectual disabilities. And I do that occasionally now too, but not all the time anymore. So that's basically what I do for a living. Also on the side, I take a lady out for we go to the movies, we go see plays and shows, and yeah, so I do that on the side, and that's fun as well. And yeah, so that's what I do for a living. I work in a group home with people with disabilities. It's called a support worker, and it's really fun. I like it. It's interesting. It sometimes can be challenging, which I like. Sometimes not getting enough sleep isn't always great, but otherwise it's a really great job. I love the people I work with. I love the people I support. So I'm pretty lucky to be where I am, and they've been great through everything that I've been going through in the past couple months with my dad's passing and everything. So they've been a really great company to work for. Anyway, so that's what I do for a living. I went to school for recreation therapy, and I was working at the YMCA before my current job, so that's kind of how I got into that, if that makes sense. So the next person, Wandering Creative _ says, how did you meet so many people to swap with? So I started my Instagram just over 3 years ago, so I've kind of started to gotten to know people and grow a little bit of a community. It was a little bit difficult at first to really like figure things out. I don't know, maybe swapping was like different back then, but like I struggled a lot with like people sending back. Like I'd said something, they'd send something back, and then I'd send something back again, and then they wouldn't. So I don't know if there were just language barriers or something, but yeah, I struggled a lot in the beginning with that, and like being on the same page with like what we're swapping, or like flip books and stuff like that. So it took a little bit of digging to find like who is really serious with the happy mail thing, and who really like enjoys the creative aspect of it as well. But yeah, I started to just get a couple pen pals here and there. And then it really, at one point I had like too many, and it was becoming like a little bit overwhelming, and so I had to cut back a bit. But I have a lot of the same swap partners or pen pals that I've had for like a couple years now, and some have like stopped doing happy mail, but I still stay in touch and things like that. So anyway, how I found them is the best way that I have found so far is to use the hashtag, use hashtags like pen pal search, looking for pen pals, hashtag whatever, like that kind of thing. You can just search it up and you will see other people who are also looking for pen pals. Yeah, and if you become a part of like swaps, because I've had pen pals who have started different swaps, like a one-time like Valentine's swap or whatever, or Christmas swap, and become a part of that group, and then get to know the other ladies or men in that group, and then maybe ask them eventually if they want to swap, especially if you like the same kind of things, or scrap the same, or like craft the same kind of way. Then yeah, if you have things in common, then it's a little bit easier to find those people and just kind of grow the community around you. And I've met people through my swap partners in groups, like I said, the group swaps, and just straight up asking people, just giving it a chance and seeing like if they're looking. Yeah, so I would say like those hashtags are probably the easiest way to start off, but then eventually your community grows. Like I said, I've been doing it for 3 years, which isn't that long, but I have grown like enough of a community around me to keep me very busy with swaps and everything. So I hope that answers the question. My Busy Life 1 asks, how long have you been married and where did you meet your husband? So I met my husband at church when I was like 15, maybe. He's 5 years older than me, so he would have been about 20. And I was in the youth group and he was the youth leader. So that's how we met. And we were friends for a while and hung out a lot. And like we kind of had like mutual friends. Like a lot of the like youth leaders hung out with the people in the youth group, myself included. So we got to be at a lot of the same events and see each other a lot. And then when I was 16, we started dating. And when I was 20, he proposed to me, and 10 weeks later we got married. So yeah, I got married when I was 20. Yes, I know, very young. You can judge me if you want. But yeah, we have such a happy life together and a beautiful house that we bought. And we don't have any kids. If you're wondering, no kids, just a cat. Hopefully another cat one day, a second cat. Yeah, and so I just turned 24 on May 12th. And yeah, so we've been married for 4 years then. Almost in August it will be 4 years. And yeah, so I think that answers that question. The next one is from KC Westfall 48. I hope I said that right. What is your favorite craft to make? I think I go through phases a lot. Again, with going with the inspiration thing, I think it depends like who I'm feeling inspired by or what I'm feeling inspired by. If one of my favorite YouTubers posts a video of some cool crafts they're doing for like Happy Mail, then I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. Or an interesting technique that I want to like scrap lift something, then I'll be like, oh my goodness, I want to scrap a layout like that. So I think it's what I'm feeling inspired by. But otherwise, like I love to make Happy Mail. I think like if I had to choose between Happy Mail and scrapbooking, not like just like as far as like my favorite, I would choose Happy Meal. As far as like if I could only do one, I would do scrapbooking because recording my memories is very important to me. But if like just for like which one I like better, I would probably say Happy Meal, because I think it's fun putting gifts together. My love language, I don't know if you know about love languages, but there are 5 love languages, and my love language is gifts. So the act of gift giving. So I love to give gifts to people. That's so fun to me, and it's fun to receive gifts as well. I feel very like loved and cared for when I get a gift that's very thoughtful. Like not like people buying things for me, but like handmade, or like they're like, oh, I saw this and thought of you, or whatever. yeah, so my love language is gifts. So to make like a box of like some amazing Happy Meal for people that I know that they will like makes me happy. So, yeah. Next question, Snail Mail Maddie asks, what's your passion other than crafting? Which is a great question. I have a couple different things. Um, so my husband and I love to travel. We only get to travel like twice a year, but I feel like that's pretty lucky because when I was a kid, I didn't get to travel. So we go on vacation about twice a year. We love to go to Europe. We've explored a little bit of Europe and the States. I live in Canada, if you don't know. And we've been out east in Canada. I would love to go out west. But yeah, so we have a trip to Amsterdam and Berlin coming up in September. In January, we went to Hawaii, and of course, I'm always planning a Disney trip. There's always a Disney trip in the works. Yeah, so that's kind of my biggest love is traveling. That's what I spend my money on. That's what I save my money for. That's what I work for, is traveling. And of course, hand in hand goes along with that is scrapbooking, because I get to document all these memories and these great pictures, and I love it. We love looking back on the albums of our adventures, and yeah. So that's one thing. I also love to read, just as like a hobby. I just love to read. I love cats. I love Disney. I am listening to Disney podcasts, watching Disney YouTubers. Yep, I love Disney. For my birthday, like my in-laws know me very well. They got me a gift card to Disney. Like I said, I live in Canada, so it's a flight away or like a 24-hour drive away. I got like all this Disney stuff for my birthday, and people just know that I love Disney and the parks, the movies, all that. Most specifically Pixar. I love Pixar, I love Toy Story Land, and I also love Star Wars, and I'm really excited for Galaxy's Edge to open, and I can't wait to go one day, hopefully. Like I said, it's not like it's close or anything. And Disney is expensive, but I can love it from my home too. Don't always have to be there to love it and appreciate it. Like I said, I listen to podcasts every single day. Yeah. What else are my passions? Yeah, I think that's it. I love, like, it's just kind of always been part of me in my life is like helping people. I spent a lot of time doing humanitarian work in Guatemala when I was a teenager. Like I'd be there for like a couple months at a time. I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with the traveling thing. I like my job is helping people and I love it. I love to be that kind of person in the world. My church is very centered around outreach globally and locally, so that really speaks to me in my heart, and that's why I really do love my church, is because that is just the heart behind our church, and that's pretty cool. And I am part of a group called Brave Girls, and so if you don't know, a girl's confidence peaks at age 9, and so this group is targeted to helping women build their confidence and be brave, and yeah, and not let it peak at age 9, because that's awfully young. Yeah, so I'm part of that group, which I really love. That's a part of my church, but yeah, it's building up women in the church to be leaders. That's simply it, to be leaders in the world, not just the church. Okay, so Snail Mail Maddie also asks, what does your typical day look like? So I have been working a lot less since my dad died, like only 2 or 3 days a week. And as you know, I just kind of explained my job, and so as far as like my work day goes, even though it's at night, I kind of explained that already, but if it's a regular day, I'll wake up and I have like my talk shows that I like to watch. I secretly love talk shows. If you're in Canada, you might know the talk show called The Social, and it's my favorite ever. I'm obsessed, and I've been to the show multiple times. I've seen the girls like out in public, like in Toronto. It's been pretty cool. Yeah, I love that show, and I also love like watching Live with Kelly and Ryan in the mornings. And like Your Morning, it's called. If you're in Canada, you might know Your Morning. Anyway, so I have my talk shows on in the morning that I just kind of have in the background. I sometimes go to yoga in the mornings. Yes, I guess that's one of my other passions, I guess you could say, since we were just talking about that. Yeah, I do. I try to do yoga a couple times a week. So I usually would do that in the morning. Then whatever there is to be done in the day, whether it's running errands and going grocery shopping and meal prep and cleaning the house and meeting with friends, going out for coffee with friends or appointments. I seem to have too many appointments. And then of course I have to fit in crafting, because when I was doing my 30 days of video, it's like takes a couple hours from start to finish to make a video. So that was a lot of work and a lot of dedication. So yeah, I could spend an entire afternoon crafting and working on videos and only get like a few done. So that takes up a lot of my time, and I love the crafting part, and I love it all in general, but it just takes a lot of time to like edit a video, do a voiceover if I have to do a voiceover, and like upload everything to the computer and then upload everything to YouTube and make the thumbnail. Like it's just a lot of like really tedious work. So yeah, yeah. So that takes a lot of time. So I guess you could say it's kind of a side job. But yeah, another side job would be working with the lady that I said earlier who I work with on the side. And so that usually is on Wednesdays that I do that. And then I do my overnights on the weekends. So somehow my days get filled up with lots of things. And since my dad died, I've really learned how to just like take time for myself and to be okay with not working a lot. Yeah, I've really learned to take time for myself and like enjoy my hobbies, like reading or my plants. That's another thing I'm passionate about is planting, but that's only in the summer. So yeah, I have a giant vegetable garden and I love my plants. Anyway, yeah. So my typical day is kind of different every day. Depends on what it looks like, but yeah. And then Laura Rael asks, how big is your craft stash? I personally don't think it's that big compared to what I see to other people's online. I'm the type of person that like needs to use up what I have or it'll drive me crazy. Like I don't want to use a full sheet of 12 by 12 paper until I've used up all the scraps, because like it drives me crazy to just have so many little things laying around. And I love to use up like sticker sheets. It's just so satisfying. It's so satisfying to use up a sticker sheet, especially knowing that like there's gonna be a new collection out, there's gonna be something new, there's gonna be, you know, just because I'm using this up, I don't have to hoard it, I don't have to keep it forever. There's always gonna be other great products out there. So I don't think my craft stash is that big. I'll definitely do a craft tour soon. That was another part of her question. A craft room tour. There we go. Yeah, so that hopefully will be sometime eventually if I get it clean. It's not a very clean craft room. But I am lucky that I do get a whole room for a craft room. I know not everybody does. I'm just looking at it now and thinking, wow, it's a mess. But yeah, I don't know. I'll do a tour and you guys can see what I have. And yeah, I wouldn't say I destash a lot, but I don't know. I just like really try and use up what I have and try not to buy too many new things, especially because I'm a part of the Wild Hair Kits design team, and it's that I use up the entire month, and I try to use as much of it as I can before I put it in my stash. So those people who are like on just like 5 design teams and only do like minimum amount of projects a month, like I can't imagine how much stuff they have. And like I see people who just have like piles and piles of stickers. I'm like, wow, like that would drive me nuts, but good for you. Like good for you for like just being okay with having that much stuff. Like I just hate like half-used things. Drives me crazy. Anyway, that was the last question. I apologize that it's a little long. I see it's over like 25 minutes now. So I apologize for that, but I hope you enjoyed this video and got to know me a little bit more. I love interacting with you in the comments, whether it's YouTube or Instagram. Yeah, thank you so much for all of your love over these past 3 years. I love making YouTube videos. It's fun for me, and I hope it inspires you. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. You are welcome to enter the giveaway, and 5 people will win some flat mail from me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry it was really long, but I hope you enjoyed the spring blitz. And yeah, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love doing this. It's so fun for me. It's such a great hobby and passion and side gig, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the love you give me, and especially in these past 6 months that have just been the worst. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for caring about me and always saying kind things. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.